Good morning. It's Wednesday, June 12th, and I'm out here at my bee yard where I set up my cell builder. And this morning we're going to finish setting this cell builder up and get it ready for this afternoon so I can drop grafts in it. So this morning is just do the final steps to get this set up. I'll show you what I'm going to do. So last time I was here, I put about 7 frames of brood in this box right here. And that brood was capped brood. And that was on June 1st, I believe. And so now most of that brood has emerged and has really just created a monster hive in here. When I get into this, there should be a ton of bees in here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this entire hive and I'm going to move it over into the middle and turn it around. That'll have the entrance for the original hive facing the opposite direction, and for the bees in the wrong location. And you can see there's tons of foragers coming back in, and that's okay. Then I'm going to take these 2 top boxes and I'm going to put a new bottom board down, and I'm going to put these 2 boxes on the bottom board, and now all the foragers will come back to this new hive that's just these 2 boxes. And that should really just make a monster hive out of this whole thing, with tons and tons of bees in these 2 boxes. And most of the bees are going to be young nurse bees. And if I don't have enough bees, then I'll go into these boxes down here and shake a few more bees in here if I don't think there's quite enough. Because I did that with the brood last time, there's a possibility that they've started to make queen cells either in this box or down here in the original brood chamber. So I'm going to have to go through all of the brood frames and shake off the bees and just make sure that there are no queen cells anywhere. I don't want any queen cells. If there are, that tells me the bees are in the mode of making a queen, which is exactly what I want, but I don't want them to swarm on me. So I'm going to have to double check and just assure myself that there are no queen cells anywhere. And then I'm going to leave it until this afternoon, and I'll come back and I'll drop my grafts right here into this frame, into this box right here. All right, let's see what we've got here. Now these 2 top boxes, for a moment, I think I'm going to just try and pull them off and set them to the side. I don't know if I can. Oh my. Okay, I'm going to set this on here for just a second. Let's see if we can finagle this over. Oh, that's kind of heavy. Okay, you missed part of what I'd done, but basically what I did was I took the whole stack, moved it over, turned it around, and then took the top 2 boxes off, put them in the place, put a new bottom board down, and went through this box that I'd put all the brood in and made sure there were no queen cells, and I tore all those down. Now I'm going through the original hive and making sure that there are no queen cells in it. Nothing there. I'm watching for my queen. If I find her, then I'll probably just move her to a different frame. Okay. Nice pattern on this beehive. This lady's doing a really good job. Haven't found her yet, but with all these bees, it's really hard to find a queen. She's in here. This frame's mostly pollen, so now because I'm seeing the brood nest to be pretty full, I'm gonna go grab a couple of empty frames, at least one. I'm gonna give this hive a completely empty frame so the queen has at least one frame to work with. All right. Here's that box going through. Now, let's put this one back on. Now, let's look through this box. I'm also looking for a frame of eggs and larvae that's the right age to graft from, because this is obviously a good queen, and from my records this is one I would want to graft off of. It's these kind of cells that were up here on this in the middle of the frame that are hard to catch if you don't shake the bees off. Oh, there's my queen. She's not even marked. Let's fix that. Now, where'd she go? There she is. Now, she's the last year's queen, so she's going to get a red mark. So if you can get her positioned about like that. We'll try not to make big red out of her. There she goes. Let that dry just a minute. She's as happy as can be. These other bees can smell her. They want her out. Okay, I'm gonna let her go over here. Very carefully open up the... There she goes, and down she went. Now she's marked, and I don't have to worry about finding her anymore. I'm going to pull this frame out. It's got some eggs and some larvae that's just barely hatched. So this is exactly the right age of larvae that I want. So I'm going to pull it out. We're going to put it over here in a nook. I'll shake some bees on it to make sure they're covering it and keeping that brood warm and keeping it from drying out. And then I'm going to give them, again, another empty frame, just so that queen has plenty of room to lay on. Still looking for queen cells, just can't miss anything. This is the kind of thing that gets missed and kind of ruins your day when you got rogue queens running around. This frame's mostly open for the queen to lay in on that side and this side, so it's brood that's emerged, but she hasn't come back to fill it back up yet, so that's good. She's still got some room to lay. Couple more frames to check here. Another full frame of brood. That's just perfect. I like to see frames like that. Wow. Our nectar flow has started. I can just put this back together. Queen excluder can go on here, and I'm going to give these ladies an empty honey super. They're bringing it in finally. Might make some honey yet. Because last time that box was mostly empty, and now it's mostly full. And as you can see, I've still got gobs of bees in this hive. Now I fold this back so that I can keep their upper entrance open. That way the drones can still get out. And I think they actually like having an upper entrance when there's a honey flow on. And there we have it. You can see the front of this hive is just boiling with bees. And that's just perfect. It's what I want from my cell builder. And now this afternoon, I'll come back in, pull the frame that's got the queen's cups, the JZBZ cups in it, and I'll pull it out and do my grafts, and then I'll put it back in, and we'll leave this. But for now, that's all I'm doing. Got a pretty good looking cell builder going. As you can see, there's plenty of bees in here. And then we'll come back this afternoon and we'll do the grafts. It is Wednesday afternoon, and I've been through most of my yards and checked hives, and it's surprising what's happened in the last 11 days. We have gone from cold and windy and no honey flow whatsoever, zero, to they're filling boxes and they're backfilling the brood nest, and somebody just turned on the fire hose. So we're going to make a little honey this year after all. Surprisingly, I was a little bit worried we weren't going to get anything, but we are going to make some honey. I've got this yard that I'm in right now, I've got 6 mediums on the hives right now. That means 3 mediums are going to be just honey. And if they fill that up, then that'll be about 90 pounds per hive. And some of my other yards aren't looking quite this good, but I've been adding boxes today, and I didn't think I was going to do that today, but good to have. So right now I'm hiding out in my truck. It's blazing hot out there. We're probably 97, 98 degrees. I'm just trying to get this done, and I'm hiding out in the truck, and I'm going to do some grafting. So I'll show you how my setup is here in the truck. So here's my setup. I have a frame here with larvae on it. Hopefully I've got the right age of larvae. And since I can't see without extra help, I've got cheaters. I'm just going to pull out one of these frames, and I'm going to set it right here. And then hopefully I can see well enough into these cells to pull some larvae out. Got to find my grafting tool here. I prefer the Chinese grafting tools. Sometimes you have to try a couple of dozen of them to get one that you really like. This one seems to be maybe okay. And what I'm looking for is larvae that looks to be the right age. And I don't know if I've got the high enough magnification on that or not. I can go up a level just to see if that's any better. Oh yeah. Alright. So I'm looking for larvae that's just the right age. So you have to kind of come in at them at the right angle. The larvae is kind of a comma shaped. If they're too much of a C shape, then they're too old. I want them a little more comma shaped. And if they're comma shaped like this, the way you pick them up is you use the grafting tool and you come in at the curve, on the outside of the curve, not the inside of the curve. Sometimes if this isn't this little, I don't know what you call it, it's not bendy enough, it has a hard time getting up underneath the larvae. Finally get one. This is going to take me a while. Okay, I've got all my grafted cells here, and I'm going to go put them in the frame and drop them in the hive, and then hopefully they'll take. So keep them nice and wet with a damp towel so they don't dry out, and we'll go put these other frames back in the hive, and we'll be done. All my hives are bearding, and here's my cell builder, just overwhelming with bees. That's exactly what I want, though. I'm going to drop this frame in there. I'm going to be really gentle with it and let it just kind of settle down in there on its own, pretty much. All right, there we go. There's my cell builder all set up and with fresh larvae. Hopefully we've got some queens in a little bit. Got my cell builder all put back together, and I gave them an extra box just to give all these bees a place to go. But it's so warm out here. We're upper 90s, pushing 100, and these bees are just bearding like crazy. But they'll be okay. As it cools down, they'll all go back into the box and it'll be good. Anyway, thanks for watching and following along with me. Hope you have a great day.